I chose to go to Leslie because I thought it would be a good way to learn independent living skills and how to live on my own after I'd gone to college for a semester and that hadn't gone well. And realized this would lead me in the right direction with my life more in the long term.
I thought this would be the right fit for me and mostly not be like a hard school, like doing more academic work other than this one, and plus it has job internships, and I really wanted to do that.
Well, not only do I live with a disability, but I also work better in a smaller group setting, which Threshold offers is a nice small group, and they're very community-like, just as in my high school. So it's nice to go from one community to another.
I choose to come to Leslie because my mom and I thought it would be a great experience, like living outside of the house, and no one always wants me to be independent, and I think so far it's been good so far, so learned a lot.
I wanted to get independent and see how it is being on my own, see if I can actually be able to live on my own without having to live with my mom.
I chose to come to Leslie because I knew that there was a wide variety of students and that is like a very diverse school.
I was nervous about starting here when you don't know anyone and don't know what there is to start a conversation about because you don't know anything about them, and I was nervous about whether I'd like the classes and whether I'd like my teachers and that kind of stuff.
So I definitely remember being nervous about, meeting new people. I mean, that's always something that's a common thing people, get nervous about. And just not knowing how the community of people with disabilities would be, and also just not knowing how wide a range of people with learning disabilities I was going to meet.
Well, I was nervous about missing my family and the rest of my personal items like my VHS tapes and DVDs.
I was just a little bit nervous about how many students I was going to be in class with, and whether I was going to be accepted or not, and when I was going to be accepted.
I was nervous about being away from my home, which I know a lot of people experience that, and that can be hard being away from your parents or just in general at your house because you're not used to being in college and sleeping here every single day. So yeah.
Meeting people is something I was definitely nervous about. I had no clue. I had my high school friends, but coming to college, I knew no one. So I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. So sure enough, it was. But I'd say that was definitely probably the most nerve-wracking part was knowing how to present myself and how to meet new friends and connections, how to go about meeting a whole group of people that I never met before. And sure enough, I know one person right beside me right now, and it's Jess.
What I was nervous about was leaving my family behind and missing them, but I get to go home on certain weekends.
What's different from being at high school is that you live on campus instead of living at home, and you have a bigger community of people with learning disabilities, and you get to meet a wide variety of people, as well as meeting new Leslie students and becoming friends with them.
There's a wider range of people you're exposed to, and you don't know anyone, so it's a little bit all new to you.
It's definitely different. I must say, probably the best part about from high school to here is that you have your own independence. So, you gotta do your own laundry, homework, meet friends, go make sure you go get dinner and breakfast before class. I'd say it's the biggest thing that's different from high school compared to college is you get a whole lot more independence. So you get to learn things more hands-on and more quickly.
It's lots of fun being away from home, seeing what you can do, and having all the independence by yourself, doing everything by yourself, learning to get up, doing your laundry by yourself without having anyone tell you what to do, to have to do it.
There are a lot of differences. You stay on campus, like especially on the weekends. You stay here. In high school, you would, go home to your parents. So that's definitely a big different.
At high school, my TAs used to help me do work, but now that I'm at Leslie, I do my work on my own.
I think it's great to be independent, live independent, rather than have rulers of my home. Yeah, I'd rather have to live in my parents' house when they rule the house. Yeah, I love living the independent life.
It's nice. You get more freedom. You don't have your parents hanging over your head to being like, oh, don't do this, don't do this. You can go do that, yeah. So it's a really good part about being here.